All right, y'all. So real quick, this video is not going to be too long. Just hollering at y'all, of course. Okay, and this is a late night edition of the Moody Starr videos, daily videos that I drop. So a couple of things I realized, and of course, we're gonna have this conversation. Let's get into this video real quick. So when you are continuing your journey, you always got to remember that these hoes ain't loyal, and also Miss Girls Are Like Buses, mix one next 15, one coming. And another one. What's another one that they be saying? Girls just like to have fun. What's another saying? It ain't my fault. That's what Sexy Red be saying. But I'm saying all that to say this, okay? We all have to understand that women will always be here on the face of this planet. So will men. Pussy is galore. But the control, do we have control over our sexual energy, okay? If we don't have control over our sexual energy, we're pretty much ruled by anything else. Yes, I said it. You are easily manipulated right now, okay? Now, the power of holding on to your energy is key because it opens up your eyes to the real reality. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, doing everything else that everybody does. You really can't see or notice your actions like that if you are constantly doing what everybody else is doing, because now you're just blending in. You just want to fit in. You want to feel, wanted or whatever. So this is why, on a day-to-day basis, I like to check in with myself. I like to, kind of just see where I'm at, see where I'm at mentally, emotionally. And then sometimes if days gets a little bit uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10, if you are like, it's gonna, basically if you're headed in the right direction, like it may feel uncomfortable at times, you know what I'm saying? When you know full heartedly that you are exercising your control. And this again, this has to do with eating habits. This also has to do with, who you talk to, late night conversations if you are talking to women. One thing that I do have to kind of remind y'all on, and this kind of might, and this, I don't know if this happens to y'all, but from time to time this happens to me. Number one, we have to not be frugal with our energy, but kind of protect ourselves, because what happens is when we start to connect with other people, especially different women and stuff like that, it's almost like they kind of they hold on to a part of your energy to kind of take a piece of you low key. And sometimes that energy is not properly reciprocated. And sometimes, and again, it's nothing like on their part, but it's just a matter of, with you having all this cultivated energy, holding on to your sexual energy in particular, you have like, I would say you have more energy than the average guy when it comes to your sexual energy, and then when it also comes to your non-sexual energy. Meaning like when you have more non-sexual energy, you have a higher tolerance. Meaning like you could talk to a female, she could be bad as hell, you could be attracted to her, but you have the control of the sexual energy. So regardless of the fact, your tolerance level is kind of high when it comes to, communicating with people, communicating with women in particular. And sometimes women will kind of use you, bro, for your non-sexual energy. And this is why I say you have to just be aware and be careful, dog. Some of these women, they don't consciously do this. They really do not consciously do this. They're attracted to this energy that it's hard to find. Like it's hard to find an understanding guy that can actually sit down and listen to a conversation and give legitimate feedback, versus a guy who is just tolerating a female's conversation because he knows he just want to have sex. See, once you begin to be, I would say, creative, and now you can have, you can articulate yourself, you can connect with these women. A lot of women find that attractive. A lot of women will try to talk to you and connect with you, and whole time you could be talking to her or connected with her or even vibing with her and shit, and then all of a sudden you might catch feelings. Whole time she's just using you for your non-sexual energy so she can go to the next dude and she can like get off that way. So what we have to understand is that we have to again, not be frugal with their energy, but kind of have like like set a limit, set some boundaries, like kind of have like a cutoff time or cut like, hey, we're talking XYZ. Now it's time to, now I have to go. You feel me? Or if we're hanging out, you know what I'm saying, you're hanging out with a chick. If you know past a certain time when it get late, you know what I'm saying, you get a little frisky or she's starting to touch you or whatnot, and you know you're trying to like at least hold on to your energy, or at least like not even have those sexual activities, you have to be proactive. Sometimes being proactive kind of sucks, but it'll actually, and when I say being proactive, being proactive in the sense that like you know how you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you choose to drink wine at any time, I should say. I don't know if you guys drink beer or anything like that, but like if you choose to drink wine, for example, and you know wine gets you in the type of vibration or it gets you in the type of like mood, nigga, you know you gonna smash. You know you gonna hit the chick. It's okay. I mean, it's okay, but if you at the same time, if you know that you're on this journey and you say, hey, I'm trying to go 30 days, no sexual activities, just to have to display the control over your, you know, sexual gratification, then you have to be a little bit responsible sometimes. So you got to be a little bit proactive. I used to hate when I was proactive. What I would usually do, and for some reason, I don't know. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, you just kind of like set a nuke bomb or whatnot, and then just kind of destroy this whole situation." I had plenty of times where I met up with different women, just even before I was on retention, where the well, not the communication, but the attraction level was high, and I knew damn well if I was to proceed with this, I would probably get lost and hypnotized by the pussy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been times where I know if I meet a female, if we gonna chill, if we're gonna have some alcohol or have some little weed or whatnot, and just back in the day, I knew that I was going to be stuck. So what I did was I kind of sabotaged that whole connection. Now, there's a healthier way to go about it, but what I would do is like I would set up like, okay, homegirl said all week we're supposed to hang out on Friday, knowing damn well like with me, I have to focus on the weekend type shit. You feel me? Now, this is not me being scared to hang out with a female. Like you can hang out with a female, but if you know damn well that you are on the streak, you had set like a personal goal for yourself, and then now you are you're making plans knowing that like, okay, can you really, are you really at that level where you can control your sexual energy? You can drink, vibe with a female, and she be touching all on you, and then you say, you know what, it's time to go home. If you know damn well that you can't handle that situation, why would you set yourself up to even be in that situation in the first place? You see what I'm saying? So I think it's very important that because guys, we're slick. You know, we are slick. Humans, when we want to do something that's low vibrational, or what we want to do when we want to have a sneaky link, sometimes we don't like to talk out loud and verbalize the fact that we're doing something that's like, we know we ain't supposed to be doing it, but like, you know, whatever. So don't speak on it. You feel me? Sometimes we'll be like, or if you're hanging out with an ex and y'all had a past or whatnot, y'all don't speak on or who you've been dealing with or who you've been talking to, because if you start talking, if you start, you know, bringing up old shit, that whole situation of y'all even having sex won't happen. So as humans, subconsciously, sometimes we like to push that shit to the back of our mind and act like, you know, okay, it is what it is. It's 9:30 at night, but I see this piece of cake right here that I don't want to get. If I say, damn, if I say this out loud, because sometimes if you speak out loud, the action that you're thinking about doing, you think about it twice. You feel some type of way when you actually say, damn, I'm about to eat this piece of cake after 9:30, after I done had me some wings, after I done had me some goddamn what you call that shit from Wendy's? Goddamn, what's fire at Wendy's? Y'all name a product that's good at Wendy's. You eat something from Wendy's and then you have some wings, and now you talking about you're gonna go ahead and have a piece of cake after 9:30 p.m. with a side of a Coke, Coke with a side of Diet Coke, I should say. So it's weird, dog. So what I like to do is I try to be ahead of my lower self. You know what I'm saying? That's one way. I would talk shit to my lower self too, bro. If I feel some type of urge, sometimes though, you gotta make it a game. You feel me? When if you know how your lower self acts, I want you to start calling yourself out. You can do that shit. It's actually pretty easy. It's pretty fun, and you kind of laugh about it, bro. And this is what I'm talking about when you have that internal conversation with yourself, and when you have that, when you have just a natural relationship with yourself when it comes to you getting stuff done in this matrix. You have to you literally gotta, in a friendly way, talk shit to yourself and be like, okay, see, my lower self would have said, hey, we're gonna go ahead and do this, but you ain't about that life. You know what I'm saying? You can't change for a second. You feel me? You're low. The way how I talk to myself, bro, um, it's comical for real. You feel me? If y'all heard some of the conversations, so y'all would actually think that I'm crazy. You feel me? Like legitimately. But I know I'm comfortable in myself. I'm confident in the relationship that I have in my internal world and with the Most High. And sometimes that could be the best way to like kind of stop you from doing something stupid. You feel me? Sometimes we need to stop and kind of either reflect on shit that happened in the past, like okay, if a similar situation pops up, how did I act in this similar situation the last time I went through it? You feel me? Another thing that you guys also need to be aware of too while you're on the journey is that you'll begin to have uncomfortable conversations. Not only with yourself, of course, I was just talking about, trying to call out your lower self and stop it from doing low vibrational things. But what happens is because your light and your glow and your electricity is so real, women will feel you on a deep level. And when they feel you on a deep level, they will be more willing to have conversations with you that are about you. Okay. You ever been on the phone and sometimes like it depends on the female, but like you'll be on the phone. Usually, if you're on the phone for about an hour, hour and a half, usually it's somebody talking more than the other person. Sometimes you're gonna have those types of females that when they're on the phone, they're literally talking to you about whatever they're going through, about whatever, and they'll just keep going, talking about their day, talking about how they feel, talking about stuff that happened in the past. And sometimes those conversations be one-sided, and I ain't gonna lie, you have to be aware of that, because that can actually drain your energy. She's actually using your non-sexual energy, and because you are giving her attention, it's validating everything that she's saying. I consider that to be like a one-sided type of conversation. But you will have you will have other situations where you're talking to a woman because she's so attracted to you, attracted to your mental, attracted to the fact that you listen, and the fact that you are aware, you're spiritually aware, you're emotionally aware. Now she is going to pour and feed into you. You know what I'm saying? In other words, she's going to ask you about your mental. I know a lot of guys be like, you can't vent to women because women, and 99.2% of them don't give a fuck for real. I'm not even going to hold you. They don't give a fuck. But the 0.8% that do exist, you will attract them. And when you do attract them, and then when they are willing to have the conversation with you, you might become a little bit uncomfortable. Now, here's where you have to kind of set your ego aside, and eventually you will have to have uncomfortable conversations about how talk to women, how you because a lot of times the main thing that I hear, and I actually had one of those uncomfortable conversations, and I actually appreciated homegirl for being mature, and we actually had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it's just be disconnect. But what I've been hearing about myself is that I'm dismissive, and I don't hear women out, which is it's crazy because I feel like 100% of the women out there, for some way, somehow they feel as though most guys are, dismissive and don't listen. But the thing is, and I'm gonna defend guys. I listen and I internalize everything. It's the problem is that they have a problem with how I react to what they're saying. Just because I don't say, just because I don't say like, okay, I understand what you're saying, doesn't mean that I'm not listening. You know what I'm saying? But I had to like, I had to, me and her had to have that conversation about, she was like, oh, you make me feel like this, da 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 da, XYZ. And vice versa. She gave me a chance to have a conversation about like, how she be making me feel sometimes. And just having those uncomfortable conversations will actually make things a whole lot better. Now, I'm not saying every single day you need to have those, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, that's not an ideal thing that I want to go through, especially if I'm just talking to a female and she's just a friend. But that's kind of cool. If you have a female to come into you as a friend like that and let you know, hey, you have some issues, or hey, you seem dismissive or whatnot. Again, most women are gonna feel that way, and that's only because most guys that have control over their emotions, just because we don't show the emotions doesn't mean that we're being dismissive. We hear what you're saying. Okay. When the women be talking, I be hearing what they be saying, but I'm not going to react the typical way that most guys would react. You feel me? So, but it just also made me just be aware more. So, like, okay, how can I be less dismissive in the future if it's not with her, but just with somebody else? Because again, this is not the first time that I'm hearing this shit. But then again, I hear women say this shit all the time. They never feel like they're heard. They feel like, oh, you always want to address something when it's on your time, but not on their time. I hear 99.9% of women say that. You feel me? So I think it's a mixture of there's certain, because what I also wanted to say was, when you do have those uncomfortable conversations with those females, they will also be more willing to listen and hear you out when you are ready to give constructive criticism or critique. I was able to let her know, hey, you are, because basically, long story short, we got into like a situation where she got snippy and I was getting snippy back, and I'm just like, not even 3 strikes, 2 strikes. You have an attitude. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I tell you straight up. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be on the phone with somebody, and you're being slick and you're rude. I'm just gonna end this conversation. But I was able to articulate myself and let her know, like, hey, X, Y, Z, like this, I didn't appreciate that. You feel me? Instead of saying, you stupid bleed, blah, 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 just start talking crazy. I just let her know, like, hey, this is the bound. This is where I cut this off, type shit. You feel me? And when I was able to do that, after that, she actually found time to say, "Hey, I seen where I messed up at, and I apologize." You feel me? More women will be willing to apologize, and they will be willing to, be understanding once you yourself, the guy, actually has control again over your sexual energy, over your emotions, over all of that. You feel me? I'm the type of guy. I know I'm not perfect. And sometimes a lot of my actions may come off as like, okay, you said you were gonna do this. Like one thing that a homegirl was saying, like she would say like, oh, we'll be on the phone for a little bit, and then you say you'll call me back, and then I won't call her back for the rest of the night. And that's not me purposely doing that. It's just when I had that conversation with her, I kind of told her like exactly what I was kind of going through, meaning if I come home and I have like, certain things that's on my mind, or if I need to just take a break from the world, take a break from the matrix, I will literally put my phone on do not disturb, and I will be in Zen mode. I would be like, it's almost like I'll be under a rock. You know what I'm saying? But to her, it was like, okay, he's probably talking to somebody else. He's probably doing this. He doesn't respect me, blah, blah, blah. But it's not even like that. Majority of the time, it's never really like that. Like, I legitimately be to myself type shit. And believe it or not, that's probably like the first time I had like a conversation like that where it was uncomfortable, but it kind of was like a little bit attractive. I ain't gonna hold you, you feel me? And it was kind of cool that I was able to like speak my piece and then just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, lead the conversation like how it needed to be led. But again, it just depends on the female that you're dealing with, because some women are not mature enough. Some women, they think like, if you tell them, hey, I don't like your tone right now, they feel like you're being disrespectful, when really, we're adults here. You know what I'm saying? We are all adults at the end of the day. But just in general, like I said, dog, protect your energy. Make sure, again, if you are connected with somebody, that you set a limit, you set some boundaries, you don't get too caught up emotionally, and yeah, just stay focused, bro. Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey that is going to continue for the entire for the entire, or for the remainder of your life. You know what I'm saying? And you'll always learn something new every single day. You feel me? But outside of that, MGT with a douche, your boy Moody Starr, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new, you already know what to do, man. Become a subscriber, like the video, and join MGT. This is a channel where I like to highlight current events and talk about my spiritual walk here in this beautiful, fucked up, sideways ass matrix. Now, first of all, I got to say a special shout out to anybody that's holding on to your energy, going within and being high vibrational. Here at MGT, this is what we do. We work on ourselves every single day. Intro for the outro. Protect your energy, set some boundaries, stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Women will always be women. Guys will always be guys too, believe it or not. Like we are going to be men. We will have times where we don't want to engage into conversations. It's just in our DNA. But as men, I think we should just make sure that we are working on ourselves, we're working on our emotional selves, and also like when we react to, tense situations, we don't have to argue. You feel me? If it gets crazy or whatnot, you don't have to go back and forth. We're not telling y'all to put a female in a place by calling her out her name or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, bro, yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna definitely see you guys on the next video. Peace.